in today's era, we're trying to be more analytical, be more objective, and talk about basketball. But in terms of the storytelling aspect, I don't think they did a good enough job as they could to sell this finals for what it could mean.
I've got a stat of the day for you. There are no existing NBA MVPs in the 2024 NBA Finals. This is something that hasn't occurred in over 30 years and only twice since the 50s. The 2024 NBA Finals are the first finals in the 21st century without a single existing MVP winner among competing teams. It is important to note that this list also does not include cases where players like James Harden and Russell Westbrook won MVPs after their appearance in previous finals. However, there's a clarification for the 1977 NBA Finals where this occurred. Blah, blah, blah. This unique event also stands out in NBA history, occurring only twice since the 1956 NBA Finals. During the 1990 Finals between Detroit and Portland, and as of now, the 2024 NBA Finals. Every finals in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, sans 1990, features a player who has won an MVP award. Additional info. In the 1977 NBA Finals featured Bill Walton and Julius Erving. Erving did win an MVP award prior to the finals, although it was for the ABA. However, both of these players won the NBA MVP post-1977 NBA Finals in 78 and 81, respectively. Now, could that be a reason why, and I'm being serious when I ask this, could that be a reason why this finals is so
Nah. In terms of ratings?
Yeah, in terms of ratings, in terms of the feeling, as to what people are really talking about. I'm not gonna lie, even as I scan the landscape, Undisputed has really, hammered home some finals content, but nobody else is really talking about the finals. I heard you see
I don't know.
It's cap.
As from commenter 262 who watches all NBA content. Nah, I feel it. I don't know. Someone pointed someone pointed it out on Twitter, the difference between how like ESPN is marketing players versus like back in the day, like NBC. And like I see it now, bro. I think back in the day, they were just so much better at marketing teams and players and storylines and really hyping up big events. And I get it. I think in today's era, we're trying to be more analytical, be more objective, and talk about basketball. But in terms of the storytelling aspect, I don't think they did a good enough job as they could to sell this finals for what it could mean for Luka's legacy, or what it could mean for, I don't know, JT's legacy or shit like that. But
well, to be fair, and I'm not gonna lie, we dunk on these shows a lot, but to be fair, we are the same fans, even podcasts at times that boos the idea of storylines. We boo the idea of narrative and all these other things, to the point where, if anything, we force these shows to become so dangerously reactionary versus just kind of getting their shit off. Now, obviously, there's points in this season, let alone every season, where there's clear agendas being pushed. However, they're being pushed off of result-oriented standpoints. It's not prior to agenda pushing that is slowly dying as the sport goes on, which, if that's a good thing, fine. But in terms of why that there was no narrative draw for this, and maybe that would technically mean no MVP does hurt it a bit, is because everyone to stop agenda pushing and to just be the most concrete reactionary thing about it. So as a result, we're only going to say who we think wins, why we think they're going to win, and then, I don't know, talk about LeBron again. So I think they've been kind of like, I think major sports networks, they can talk about whatever the hell they want. I'm not absolving them of that power. But in terms of why, if we're asking them for views and all the viewers are saying, hey, just react, nigga, that's what they're going to do.
I think it's interesting, and I know what people are going to say. Like, again, there are so many people that just won't understand some concepts or some shit like that sometimes. But I think it's interesting that, we saw the news for Game 1's viewership, and it hasn't really been announced or talked about Game 2, Game 3, and Game 4, right? Like when Game 1's viewership numbers came out, it was kind of like a deal. Like that was a talking point. Even right, I just tried to look it up. I'll try to look up Game 2, Game 3. I tried to look up any other 2024 finals viewership and could not find it. I'm here to say it's being suppressed by the mainstream Adam Silver media because this finals is ass. Now, hear me out when I say this. I personally don't think from a basketball perspective it's ass. We're watching these things on playback. I don't necessarily think that they're ass. I think a bunch of people out in the zeitgeist, the average fan, the whatever. Man, I feel like people really do hate Boston. I think that they feel like this is not good and they're not watching it. So because there are TV rights deals coming out, contracts and all that stuff like that, think about this. Think about when I say this. Y'all hearing me? Y'all listening? Y'all listening?
Yeah.
They have a big TV deal coming out. TV negotiations, right? Every 2 seconds. Oh, the WNBA broke another viewership record. They're paired together, by the way, the WNBA and the NBA's TV deal.
Mm-hmm.
Broken record for WNBA. Broken record. Caitlin Clark broke a record. Angel Reese broke a record. We got one stat about the game one of the finals. We ain't never got another stat since. I don't know. I would shut it up too if there was billions of dollars at play. What the numbers look like? Don't put that out. Don't put that out. Don't put that out. Football offseason is ramping up tremendously. Trades after trades, signings after signings. Who will win next year? Who will succeed? Well, over at Prize Picks, you can succeed if you play daily fantasy. Let's take a look at Prize Picks. We've got some easy numbers here. We got CJ Stroud, my personal MVP, for 4,000 yards on the season.
You can do the whole season? No, that's crazy.
I'm learning something today, and I'm about to make a 30-minute drive. Woo!
And then on the receiving side of things, we've had some moving and we've had some shaking, but I think one of the more guaranteed picks, more for $4.99.5. Make sure that you place those things early for the football season. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some change on there. I'm a little scary, so I'm going to just put that for the long game right there. And I'm going to hit place entry. And it is just as simple as that on Prize Picks.
And if you use code LKIB, you guys can get a 100% match on your first deposit of up to $100. Links to everything will be in the description down below. And shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring this podcast. I also think our attention is just divided into like so many different things now compared to in the 90s and the 2000s. There's so many different shows to watch now compared to back then. So many different things to stay tuned to. I don't know. I feel like that plays a factor in like why mainstream ratings are down for a lot of like industries. Our attention is just divided into like so many things.
I feel it. People can put, and let me also say for the people that are gonna, oh my gosh, this talking point is just burnt out. This is so stupid. It's the streaming, gang. I promise you, I promise you. We cannot just keep saying it. Streaming is like the laziest answer. It has to be. I promise you, it just has to be.
I mean, it's just tough because you can't track illegal streaming numbers. But we also know like a lot of motherfuckers use illegal streaming sites. So we just don't know how much it factors into shit, to be honest with you.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
You know what? I would want them to show that.
I mean, we'll have this
like the streamers. Go ahead, Sage.
Yeah, we'll have this answer by the end of the series when we're able to compare this series to last year's, the year before, and the year before. Because I think it's very safe to say that 2020, and yes, people have been using streams prior to. Oh my god, you stop playing stupid. COVID had niggas unlock the streamies and all the other stuff. I'm not even gonna say the links for real. Hey, yeah, I said CEs.
Oh wait, I found it. I found the numbers.
You found the finals.
Under 10 million for Mavs Game 4 rout of Celtics. NBA Finals ratings sank to COVID era levels for Mavericks Game 4 rout of Celtics.
It was an early blowout, right? That was a problem with Game 1 too. What was it for 2 and 3?
Yeah, 2 and 3.
2 and 3 was close.
I wonder if that's how they track it though. I gotta look at how they track this stuff. I'm just gonna report the headlines and we can speculate. I don't know if they track it in the middle of the game or whatever the case may be. Blah blah blah. But man, this is crazy. That's crazy.
No, because for a typical game, the reason why people were calling out even the game one, like people calling that out, is for a typical game, viewership peaks in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people who literally do not watch the whole game and just tune into the fourth quarter. So when they go on the box score and see it's a blowout, that pretty big portion of people that just watch the game for the fourth quarters is just not tuning in because the game's already decided. But in a typical game, that's when it should peak.
What did I just say? 9?
Yeah, you said below 10.
9,
You said
6.
COVID levels.
Game 3 was 10-9. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
We'll find out. We'll find out, man. We'll find out. But I will say, from a basketball standpoint, because I didn't really give a standpoint on how I feel, I think the finals is fine. Finals is fine, man. At the end of the day, Boston's just winning, and people just don't like domination. We found that out with the Golden State Warriors. So people don't like their series getting swept. If they see two teams in the finals, they at least won 6 games. And whether we get that or not is up to the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. But as of this very moment, obviously when it starts off as a lopsided lead, ain't nobody going to be interested for real.